It isn't just us Yoopers who have been impacted by this forgotten winter.
That's right. It also affected our wildlife. Local 3's Rebecca Bartlemay spoke with a wildlife biologist at the Michigan Department of Natural Resources on what this means.
A beautiful part about living in the Upper Peninsula is the variety of wildlife we have up here. I spoke with Brian Roll, a wildlife biologist with the Michigan DNR. He says that it's been both positive and negative for different species this winter season.
Most of our larger animals, particularly like white-tailed deer, this has been very beneficial for them.
But for smaller species, that's not the case.
Where frost can go into the ground a little bit deeper, insects where you get this freeze and thaw kind of cycle.
When it comes to those smaller species like ticks, that leaves an unfortunate case for us humans and some other wildlife.
I suspect we're going to have a bumper crop of ticks with this mild winter because they've overwintered on our larger mammals and now are going to be dropping off and then laying eggs in the soil, and so since there's not that snow cover, their survivability will go up and those kinds of things. Really, ticks is going to be the big one. Your other insects like mosquitoes, and black flies and those things, really going to depend on our moisture levels. If we have an unusually warm spring and dry, then those loads won't be as high.
Roll says animals that hibernate haven't been affected for the most part.
It's like bears, they may have had to wake up a little early if they got their den got flooded or water started coming in with the melt and those kinds of things. You might see a bear for a day or something like that, but they'll just go back to sleep and those kinds of things. So all your other animals, your skunks and raccoons and stuff that sleeps in the winter, those animals are fine. It's really not impacting them negatively anyway. It's actually a little easier on them because it's just not as cold.
There is one animal that calls the Upper Peninsula home that has taken a hit from this winter.
The real downfall, at least of Michigan wildlife, is moose. This was just really too warm of a winter for them. So that they would be the losers as far as this climate goes. It's too warm, so they'll have to actually seek shade to cool off. And so when an animal that size that needs to take in about 50 pounds of browse a day, 40 to 50 pounds of browse depending on the size of the moose, and we're talking browses, stuff about twigs and buds about the size of your little finger. If you had to go around and collect 40 pounds of those, that takes a while. So if they got to go seek shade, they're not eating normally. So anytime we're getting temperatures up over 32 in the winter, even anywhere close to 32, it's too warm for their body. They have such good insulation in their fur that they have to actually cool off.
And if we have a dry spring, wildfires are a concern that could continue to impact our wildlife.
We had some high fire risk, and we've actually had a couple wildfires already in Marquette County this year, which is unprecedented, but going to be a concern if we have a dry spring.
Reporting in Marquette, Rebecca Bartlemay, Local 3 News.